Welcome to the Bucket List Buster Travel Show. Your Bucket List Buster Travel Show helps you make your bucket list dreams come true. Host Karen Duncan spent decades running the travel business. She, along with other industry experts, share their knowledge, travel stories, and wisdom about how to travel, where to travel, and how to have a stress-free adventure. Tune in, give yourself permission to focus on yourself, create lifelong memories with families and friends, and finally learn to relax, rejuvenate, and reconnect. And here's the host of your show, Karen Duncan.
Aloha, buenos dias, ni hao, yahate, bula, guten tag, bonjour, jumbo, boa tarde, everything's Irie, and good afternoon. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hola, my friends, you bucket list busters out there in the world. I am so happy to be here today. This is Karen Duncan, your host of your Bucket List Buster, live here from Panama, San Carlos, Panama, to be exact. I am here excited for several reasons. One, I'm back home. You know, I travel a lot. I love to travel, obviously. I've been in the business now for 24 and a half years, owner of Peaks Cruises and Tours. And anytime I get to pack my bags and go on a vacation, I'm willing to do so. But we had a family crisis this past month in July, and we had to leave unexpectedly. And although I was excited to go see family, it was unexpected, and I was gone a little longer than I wanted to be gone. So, and I had to go to the States, which is fine, but I don't know if y'all know, but the United States has got some stuff going on, and we need to get it together, U.S. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I am embarking on a new piece of my bucket list. So, this show is about living your dreams, checking off your bucket list, be it a destination, an adventure, an experience, something that you've dreamed about, something that you're passionate about, whether it's a trip, whether it's a new career. It could be anything that's on your bucket list. It doesn't always have to be about travel. So one of my dreams is I want to be in my best health ever. And I'm not. I'm in this beautiful place where I eat wonderful food, fresh foods. I didn't eat so well while I was in the United States, I will admit. But I have, as we age, we take on some bad habits, and our bodies tend to do what it wants to do if we're not taking care of ourselves. And I'm not taking care of myself like I need to. So I have a fantastic doctor here, and I want to give her a plug because she is going to help me reach my goals. Dr. Kayo Sai Young, who is the founder of the Villa Fortaleza Interamericana. She's on the Interamericana Road, in Chalmey, West Panama. She has the Medical Spa and Weight Loss Center. And she was trained in Spain as an MD, but she does some fantastic alternative therapies and naturopathic therapies that I'm just in love with. She treats the whole body, not just pharmaceutically. she gets into your lifestyle and figures out what you're doing, how you're living, and how she can treat you based on your lifestyle. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I've embarked on a new program, and I started yesterday. So I'm going to put myself out there and become very vulnerable so that you can watch me on my journey as I try to get myself healthy and get off my medications. I have high blood pressure, I have high cholesterol, I have high triglycerides, all of that. And I'm putting it out there so that you know. And I want you to watch me. I need to lose at least 20 pounds. And I've got all the fat in all the wrong areas around the midsection, which is the most dangerous. And so I'm at high risk of really bad heart issues if I don't get this under control. So I'm putting it out there so that you guys know what I'm doing. That is part of my bucket list, as well as visiting some fantastic destinations. So I want you to help me keep me accountable, and let's have some fun with that. So watch me. I'm going to put some pictures out there so you can see me and watch me as I go. But I want to say hello to some new countries that are listening to the show. France. Hey, France. I do know a little French, but I can't think of it right now. Isn't that so sad? But yeah, France is listening now. Of course, United States, Panama. Thank you, Panama, U.S., Canada, Brazil, New Caledonia, Ireland, Australia, Dominican Republic, and Chile. So we've got Paris, Ketchikan, Mountain View, California, Anchorage, Leander, Texas. What's up, Leander? Elk Grove, California, Anaheim, Seattle, Colorado Springs, West Fargo, North Dakota. I love you guys for listening. Make sure you tell your friends to tune in to Your Bucket List Buster. It's a weekly show. I know I've kind of been off and on this summer with all kinds of issues. We've had some family issues, like I said, but I'm back on. We've got some fantastic shows coming up. We're about to kick off football season. We are serious football fans here in this house, so we're going to be doing some sports travel episodes about college and pro and all kinds of sports that you can listen to. So I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about one of my passions. One of the things that I did years ago, I was an adjunct professor in Austin, Texas at Austin Community College. And I created a program on sustainable tourism there. And I'm very passionate about that. Sustainable tourism means being able to maintain tourism in a responsible way. So tourism in a destination needs to be a two-way street. It needs to be good for tourists that are coming into the destination, and it needs to be good for the locals that live there. Why is that important? Because we, as tourists, are invading the space of the locals that live there. I'm sure if you live on an island or you live in a destination, say like Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or if you live in Mykonos, Greece, or you live in Paris, France, you see the influx of tourism, especially during high season, where all these thousands of people coming to your space, and they kind of take over. And the people that live there on a regular basis have mixed emotions about that. We want you to come to our space because it's economically beneficial for us when you come to our destinations. But it is also more traffic, there's more crime, there's a lot of negative impact when we have the number of tourists that that just bombard a destination all at one time. So there's an article that I read about combating the issue of over-tourism. And I thought I would talk a little bit about that. So is there a such thing as too many tourists? How many cruise ships need to come into a destination at one time? You know, Alaska is a very good example of this because the cruise season in Alaska is very short. It's between May and September, the middle of September, because after that the weather changes, right? So you can't go, or most people don't want to go starting in October because the weather changes and it starts to get cold. And so all these ships are going to Alaska during this time period. Now, Alaskans enjoy the fact that they can make a lot of money and it's beneficial to the locals during this time period. But, you know, the influx to their infrastructure can be critical. So we need to understand that. And for instance, Machu Picchu and the Galapagos Islands have started putting restrictions on the number of tourists that can come to their locations during a season. And that's responsible tourism. So destinations where they host guests, locals and visitors, they feel that there can be too many visitors and the quality of life can change in these areas. And so they're trying to keep it from deteriorating and making it so that it's not an unacceptable experience for the tourists and the locals. So the effects of over-tourism can put stress on locals and on the environment, the natural resources of a destination. And there can be clashes, cultural clashes also. Dirty beaches, the shops are overwhelmed, the inventory of very expensive souvenirs because then the costs go up because the shops know that they can get more money. I mean, the impact goes on and on and on and on and on. So governments and tour operators within the world's most popular travel destinations are taking the issue seriously by working to find a balance between tourist demand and needs of local communities. For example, again, Machu Picchu has implemented a new ticketing system that can help manage the flow of visitor numbers. And other countries are starting to do things to try to protect their natural sites. And that's important. We don't want to damage these natural sites so that people no longer want to go there. You know, what would be the point of having these UNESCO sites if we're going to damage them? And there are some sites that are actually on the endangered list. Venice is really having a hard time right now, and they're now beginning to have to limit the number of ships that are coming all at one time. It's getting ridiculous. So we have to think about that when we're thinking about going on vacation. What do we do as visitors? How can we impact? What's our impact, and how can we help these destinations? And as a travel agent myself, how can I help to unload some of this weight that we're putting on these destinations when I'm selling to my clients? So some of the things that I can do as a travel agent is when my customers are looking to go on a trip, I can offer to send them perhaps on a trip during the off season. Cruising during the fall and winter months, like between January and early March, are considered low seasons, and they're great times to take some of these cruises because there are not that many people in these destinations. Now, sometimes the weather is not absolutely perfect, but a lot of times it still is. But it's a lot less crowded because kids are in school, so parents are working and they're taking care of the kids, and it's a lot of time just a lot less crowded. The beaches are less crowded, the whole work. So going off season can reduce the impact of over tourism in a region. Plus, it's a lot